Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaped it down. Basically, you will end up with a haircut shape up or an edge up. What they do is they tattoo small dots that look like hair follicles in the areas where you have lost your hair and then blend it with your existing hair. You can even choose what type of hairline you want, hard shape up or soft and natural finish. And to maintain it, all you gotta do is shave your hair every few days, which is something you already were probably doing anyway. So if you wanna get this hookup for my brothers out there in the UK and Europe, make sure you check out the Scalpdis on Instagram. And for my brothers out there in the States, make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. And when you go on their pages, you can see for yourself what these guys look like before. I mean, these guys are literally hair magicians. I've never seen anything like this before, but all I can tell you guys is this is a serious game changer for us men. So make sure you get in contact with Scalpdis and Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
I take all comers. I don't duck any man.
Can we assume that Michael Dokes is one of the prospects?
All comers. Come one, come all, because nobody can get close to me. They're not even close. I'm the best fighter in the world.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Very, very interesting development. So Tyson Fury is determined to fight this year with or without Deontay Wilder, according to his promoter, Frank Warren. The reason why the fight is being pushed back, the Wilder versus Fury fight is being pushed back to 2021 is because of the coronavirus, because they want to make sure that they fight in front of a crowd, which makes sense. It's a big fight. And Tyson Fury, he's contractually obligated to fight Deontay Wilder next. But because the fight has been pushed back, I agree with Tyson that he shouldn't have to sit on the shelf and wait until a pandemic clears up so they can have a crowd to fight in front of. So Frank Warren, he says that he wants to fight someone else, but he wants it to be a tune-up bout. See, for the same reason he's not gonna fight Wilder is the same reason he won't fight Anthony Joshua. Now that makes sense, once again, because that's a huge fight. That should be a fight in front of a crowd. This is what Frank Warren is saying, and I agree with that. But what I don't understand is what Frank Warren said next. Once again, this is Tyson Fury's promoter, Frank Warren. He said Tyson Fury won't be fighting Dillian Whyte either. Dillian Whyte is the WBC mandatory. So what was really telling when Frank Warren did this interview is he used the excuse of not having a crowd. That's why they're not going to take the Anthony Joshua fight if they don't get the Wilder fight. But he didn't use that same excuse for not fighting Dillian Whyte. He just said, we're not going to be fighting Dillian Whyte this year. He didn't say it was because that's a big fight and we need a crowd for fights like that. So basically, they're openly just saying that Dillian Whyte is too dangerous. So I want to ask Tyson Fury fans, how do you feel about that? You guys feel Dillian Whyte is too dangerous for Tyson Fury? Because you know these type of fans, they love to say that anyone who wants to challenge Tyson Fury is just a complete bum. But now we find out what the real truth is. And now, you know, hearing this news, it makes me look more into that sparring session that Dillian Whyte talked about he had with Tyson Fury. Something that Tyson Fury never denied, by the way. Not only did Dillian Whyte say he knocked down Tyson Fury, he said he knocked him down multiple times in sparring. So I guess every time Tyson Fury thinks of Dillian Whyte's name, he gets those flashbacks. So let me get this right. Once again, according to reports, the heavyweight champion of the world, instead of fighting his #1 mandatory, once again, we already understand he's not going to fight Wilder if Wilder doesn't want to fight, this year, or if his promoter doesn't want to host the fight this year without a crowd. We understand he's not going to fight Wilder. He has an excuse. He has an excuse for why he's not going to fight Anthony Joshua if there is no crowd. But why wouldn't he fight his #1 contender? He would rather fight a soft touch according to his own promoter. By way of contrast, this is what Errol Spence did. Errol Spence, who just came off of a car accident that nearly killed him, everyone was pushing him to take a soft touch. And it would have actually been more understandable in his situation. So do you know what Errol Spence famously said when he was asked to take a tune-up fight? He said, "I'm not a tune-up type fighter." You see how hard fighters on the coincidental list have to work, and they still don't qualify for that hope insurance that covers everything, that same hope insurance that your man Tyson Fury has? We know what time it is, don't we? Lennox Lewis is another perfect example. Do you guys remember Lennox Lewis? He already had a good opponent that he was gonna fight. He was gonna fight against an undefeated prospect that I had been watching for a while, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good fight. That opponent ended up pulling out at the very last minute. And do you know who they wanted to replace that guy with as Lennox Lewis' last minute opponent? Vitaly Klitschko, the best heavyweight challenger in the entire division. This is the opponent they presented to Lennox Lewis at the very last minute. And what did Lennox Lewis say? He said, "Where do I sign?" He agreed to fight Vitaly Klitschko and beat him. And he fought him. They didn't have the 3 months to promote the fight. No press conferences, no commercial ads, none of that. At the last minute they fought. That is what real heavyweight champions do. That's what real champions do, guys. This is why it's extremely premature to try to rate how great of a champion Tyson Fury is off of just one win with a guy that has one style that no one else has in Deontay Wilder. This is why we have to see him in the ring with the Anthony Joshuas, the Luis King Kong Ortizes, the Dillian Whytes. We have to see these type of fights, see how he can deal with adversity, see how he deals with different styles in the ring. Now, credit to Tyson Fury. The Klitschko win was huge, and I was impressed. But once again, just to show you how good it is to have the complexion for the protection, if Tyson Fury didn't have that hope card that he has, they would have called that win the most boring fight ever. They would have used that as an excuse to dislike Tyson Fury. Because I can tell you right now, it was a boring fight. It was way more boring than Mayweather versus Pacquiao for the people who called that fight boring. Way more boring. But notice when these fans talk about that win, none of them ever says, oh, that fight was boring, it was horrible, etc., etc. They're not gonna say that because the truth came out. And the truth is, as long as the right guy wins, they don't care how they get the win. They don't care if he cheated. They don't care if it was boring as hell. As long as the winner wasn't black, all is forgiven. This is why I tell you decafs, you don't want the smoke with me when it comes to talking about what the truth is. Because I keep telling you guys, it doesn't matter what you say in the comment section. Everything that you have already previously said is documented on the internet. So we can find out who's telling the truth or not. Every point that I've made, it's on the videos that I've made. And I have proof that I have gave every single fighter the credit that he deserves if he did what he was supposed to do, if he beat who he was supposed to beat, if there was no controversy involved. You go back and watch my video, my post-fight videos with Tyson Fury beating Klitschko, Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder in the last fight. Go watch the post-fight vid, and what are you gonna hear? You're gonna hear nothing but me praising Tyson Fury's skills, at least until I found out that he cheated later on. But my point is, at least 99% of these radical fans defending Tyson Fury's actions no matter what he does, they have never went on the internet and congratulated any fighter on the coincidental list when he beat someone who was not black. They have never gone on the internet to defend a black fighter if he was getting bashed and it was a rivalry between that black fighter and someone who wasn't black. And like I said, the best thing about what I'm telling you is it could all be proven. It could all be proven. Because we have the proof that they're defending the man on the hope list. We have the proof right now. It's in the comment section. But if you ask any of these fans if they have any previous comments where they defended a black fighter the same way they're defending Tyson Fury when that black guy was going up against someone who wasn't black, they're gonna either ignore you or they're gonna say something stupid like, oh, what does that have to do with the situation? Remember, you guys were the ones that kept saying this had absolutely nothing to do with race. And those comments would prove that this has nothing to do with race. If you had those comments where you were defending people that didn't look like Tyson Fury, that looked more like Deontay Wilder or Errol Spence, we know what time it is. But listen, man, I'm not trying to baptize you. I'm not trying to bring you to Jesus and cleanse you of the hate that's inside of your soul. All I want you to do is be honest. Stop beating around the bush so everyone can know who you are. And if we don't want to mess with you, then we can go ahead and cut you off right there and keep it pushing. That's how it should be. I got more to say, but I got to wrap this video up. I'll finish it on another video. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Are you ready to take your striking game to the next level? Then you've got to get the focus ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, reflex, hand-eye coordination, head movement, and striking IQ. Lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere with the focus ball.
You know, I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video-on-demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR, so you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month, and once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation.